You will sleep better than you have ever slept. You've never been this relaxed. Are you ready to change your life? I'm Rusty Diamond, certified hypnotist. You don't need to leave your house. You can stay in your bed. You can stay in your favorite chair. You just need a computer or your phone. You can get a hold of me. Stay at home. I'll make your life better.
Hypnosisisgreat.com.
It's Rusty Diamond, motherfucker. It's Rusty Diamond, motherfucker.
Yo, man. Oh, Miss Rusty. What is up, everyone? It is Monday, sometime in January. I don't know the date, and that doesn't matter because fuck it, as the kids say. They say like fuck it, bet, or something to that extent. So, welcome to the Public Access Podcast, the podcast. Now the podcast, since we're out of Pennsylvania, PA. Podcast. Podcast. And today is Monday, like I said, and it's MLK Day. So that means I'm going to bring on my special guest. And my special guest today is right here, right now. And my special guest right here, right now is not Martin Luther King Jr., but better than Martin Luther King Jr. We have DJacobRyals. How you doing?
I'm doing great.
Yeah, you might be the first person introduced on my show better than Martin Luther King Jr. So
You've
might not be the
introduced Martin.
last.
You've introduced Martin Luther King Jr.
Well, today I have. I said better than Martin Luther King Jr. today. So first get on there, write it down first in the comments, because that is DJacobRyals, better than, because I've never met him, so I assume that DJacobRyals is better than Martin Luther King Jr. So I don't know why we're just going to call it DJacobRyals Day. That might be the name of the episode, actually. Shit, you're getting put over hardcore. You're getting put over hard before this show or the show even starts.
I think that was a hard row of sentences to follow.
Right. Well, I mean, it might be probably not the first time someone said that you're better than Martin Luther King Jr., but it's probably like less than 30 times someone said that to you.
Mm-hmm.
But one more time won't hurt anyone. So welcome back.
Thank you.
Yeah, man. Are you still doing your podcast?
Oh, well, I co-host another one because running a podcast is the last thing I ever want to do for a while still.
Yeah, you're still on the co-hosting as far as involvement in podcast world. That's where you are right now.
Yeah, I'll sit and talk. I don't want to edit. Oh my God. I don't want to edit. I don't want to run a website. Well, I'm gonna have to run a website soon, but I don't want to do any of that stuff.
What kind of website?
I don't want a book.
Yeah. Right.
Book? Yeah.
Yeah, because you're doing like, or what I was kind of doing the last year is what I remember you doing, where it was, but you edit in there on top of what I was doing and making it look professional and awesome. And I don't know how you did it, but you probably didn't sleep. or something, or you worked while you slept.
Well, I mean, eventually you find a formula, but I was trying to figure out how to do a paywall before Patreon was around. I was, I'm never usually an early adopter, but I was an early adopter of podcasting, so there weren't all these services or even free services. And then hell, some of the tech was working against you. I started editing in GarageBand, and then GarageBand switched. I don't know why, but Apple said, you know what? Everyone's doing a podcast, so we're going to make GarageBand harder to use for a podcast. So I literally had to go back and get my old laptop and keep that version of GarageBand because I fucking hated the newer one. I think around 2013 or something like that. You were about to say something.
No, I mean, it was not anything. It's
Okay.
just it's words that were going to come out of my mouth that were probably pertaining to that, but not for sure. And so, I mean, yeah, GarageBand was back then was awesome. It was just what Apple aspired to be as far as functionality and intuitiveness of the program.
The new one's just for music. And I don't know why they didn't leave a space open for podcasting, because I feel like even more people are going to do, or the same amount are going to, I mean, everybody has a fucking podcast now.
Yeah, right, man. Like this guy even fucking has a podcast. This guy has two. Yeah. I mean, and I mean, I'm in podcast groups, and I don't want to shit on them, but this is my show, so fuck it, man. Dude, everyone has a podcast, and it's for the everything. Like, I don't know, man. Do people listen to? I mean, I don't know. Like, I don't really listen to podcasts much anymore, even.
Bro, same. My podcast listening has gone way, 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 way down. I listen to probably like 3 shows on the reg. I mainly do YouTube, and even that, since I found the speed up, since I've gotten used to that, I watch even I get done with. I'm watching more TV again, but
oh shit, okay.
I used to spend like 12 hours and 8 minimum a day watching YouTube videos, and now it's like I don't. I have so much more time. But yeah, podcasts I don't. And then I was talking to a girl. My wife's into a hobby called planning. It's like daily scrapbooking. And I was talking, and she had some people over, and I was talking to this one lady who used to do a planner podcast, which I already don't understand how that works, but whatever. She said she wants
your day.
She says she wants to do a planner / true crime podcast. And my producer brain kicked, and I was like, oh, you could pretend to be the killer and then do like walk people through how you would plan that out in your planner. And then have your guests guess what you're gonna do. And she was like, no, I figured I would just talk about my planner and then tell a true crime story. I'm like, oh, that sounds stupid. Like, yeah. My idea was so much better, but I just don't have the energy. I'm not going to go make that podcast for her.
You know who should make that podcast is O.J. Simpson. If I did it with scrapbooking, the O.J. Simpson scrapbooking true crime of if he killed Nicole Brown and Simpson and what was the other guy's name?
Oh God,
Ron Goldman.
Yeah, I remember his dad.
The Raleigh fingers.
I remember his dad more. I don't even know what he looks like. I barely. But you saw his dad every day on TV when you were 10.
Yeah. He had the fucking handlebar mustache, and I couldn't tell you what his mom looked like. It was just always his dad.
Yeah, just looking.
That's weird.
But anyway, he already did that podcast. He wrote the book, and then they got all the money.
Hey, it worked out all right. So I mean, so she should, or else, yeah. I mean,
doesn't my idea sound great? Like you pretend to be the killer
while you're scrapbooking it,
and then do the planning of how you're going to get rid of this body, or even ask your guests, like, okay, so you've got 3 bodies to get rid of. Where do you do them in your day? And then they can answer like, I don't know. Probably before I pick up my kids, but after my grooming appointment. Like, That would be that would be so fun to listen to. And then again, you can have the audience or your guests guess what parts of the story or who the story is. Because at this point in time, everybody's listened to so many fucking true crimes. Like there's got to be like people who could, that's John Hoffman from Pennsylvania in 1973. He killed that many people. I don't know.
And dude, who wouldn't be on that? Like it could be all, and whoever is on it is probably going to need to show up for their own true crime thing when the fucking person who makes the podcast eventually kills someone with these ideas and gets caught. They're going to eventually get to show up, but
I would play into the point. I would play into the part of like planning isn't just a girl thing. I know of men who get into it as well, but true crime is mainly a female dominated audience because they say that like they're trying to figure out what not to do with guys on dates because they don't want to end up being a Bundy victim, right? So I would just play into that.
Yeah,
I would play into that of like talking about the techniques or decisions that the victims did or did not make that they should or shouldn't or whatever. But like, yeah, she was just like, no, we're just going to do it straightforward. And we're going to just talk about planning and then talk about true crime. And like, how do you segue? Again, with my idea, without doing my idea. But it's
right. I mean, it's just like, okay, well, now let's switch gears. Now that you've seen everything planned out for today, now it's time. Let's get around the circle for story time with Suzanne, and we're gonna all hear about the 1906 killing of Shirley.
Yeah.
Shirley. I mean, it was an interesting case, but I don't know. There's a lot of fucking true crime. It's but I don't listen to them. So I mean, I watch some of the stuff. Like, there's been some stuff that's been pretty interesting. With I don't know that one.
Well, that Gypsy Rose girl got out recently, so that's resurgence. Done a resurgence in her story.
Yeah, and so I'm in proximity to when the TV going on, so my phone on TikTok will pick up on that, and so then now I start getting TikToks with Gypsy Rose things, and there's everyone, it's cool because you got all these theories. And I mean, what you could do without even doing a podcast is just go and take all these people talking about it. I guess it's all on there and it's free. Just steal all their material and say whether you think it's good or not. I don't know.
Did you like Unsolved Mysteries?
Yeah, man. I watch it sometimes when I go to sleep, but I don't know how smart that is. But yeah, man, I was into it. It's still cool, man. There's definitely been some things on there that I've liked watching. With that, I got into the Jinx, that one that was on HBO a long time ago.
Yeah.
And I keep telling I'm gonna watch that trial. I want to watch that trial. It's all on YouTube.
Why?
Why? I don't know.
I feel like after you've seen I feel like I'm satisfied after seeing the doc. After watching Jinx, I'm like, okay, I get it. Like, they laid out the case pretty well. And then he admits to it. So, like, unless you're just into court TV, which some people are, I'm not tripping. Watch our judicial system at work, if you will. I brought that up, though, because I've been fucking around with the freemium streaming sites.
Ooh, what freemium streaming sites?
Well, Pluto TV is one I've become a fan of lately.
So
it's free and it's streaming television
24/7 Unsolved Mysteries.
I cut the cord in 2008, so I haven't been able to channel surf in a very long time. And I got a Samsung TV, and I have an Apple TV, so I didn't need a smart TV. But you can't find a TV without a brain. So I had to get a TV that came with some of these freemium sites, like freemium apps like Blue Pluto TV, and I started fucking around with it. I was like, oh, there are channels, live television channels, which are nothing but like Unsolved Mysteries, fucking Rescue 911.
Yeah.
By the way, there have not been new episodes of either of these shows, so it's just replaying the old 80s and 90s ones.
Yeah, because I mean that was the back-to-back thing there back when the show was on. Rescue
Probably.
911 came on right after Unsolved Mysteries was on.
I remember watching Rescue 911 with my mom growing up. I don't remember us doing Unsolved, but
Okay.
I've been enjoying it just because it's got 2 channels of just streaming Star Trek constantly. Because
Yeah.
what I've liked about the live television is like I want to watch Star Trek, but I don't know which. I don't want to pick which show. I don't want to pick which season. I sure as fuck don't want to pick which episode. So it's nice just being like, all right, Star Trek. And there's 2 channels that always have one of the shows just going constantly. So I'm just like, if I'm not in the mood for TNG, okay, well, I'll switch to DS9. And
Have you gotten to it where it's like playing the same stuff over and over when you get turning it on, or is it I felt like even shows with a bunch of episodes, I ended up seeing some that would come on. It felt like it was always whenever I turn it on, it would be on that same episode.
that's what it was like when I had regular TV and they were doing the syndications. I swear to God, I finally sat down and watched the X-Files a couple of years ago, because when I would watch a rerun of the X-Files, it was always the tapeworm guy. Like it was always like 1 or 2 episodes, like you're saying, that you would always catch over and over again. Like I don't know how many times we've all seen the Soup Nazi episode of Seinfeld, because if you catch a rerun of Seinfeld, you're going to hit that more than nothing. I don't know what the syndication people do, but these channels, no, I haven't. I mean, I've seen every Star Trek episode, of course, but like no, I haven't really hit the same episode. I haven't had the same experience as that.
I was getting that with Unsolved Mysteries, because I mean I put it on. It was for a while every night when I go to bed. It would be Unsolved Mysteries, but there's a Jeopardy channel that's 24/7 Jeopardy, which is awesome. There's a
Price is Right, and you can pick Bob Barker or Drew Carey.
Or Drew Carey, which is fucking great.
It's also great too because it's made for channel surfing. So when a commercial comes on, I just go to the next channel, because it's nothing I'm too invested in.
Yeah, and then a lot of the stuff too is on demand. So it's like if you go in partway through it, like, oh, you want to watch the beginning? Okay, sure.
But I miss that too. I miss popping up in the middle of a fucking movie and I've probably seen it before, or if I haven't, it's like, okay, trying to piece together what's happening.
Right.
And so I know that it's like I've been telling people, like, I understand it's a degradation. Like video on demand is obviously the more pleasurable viewing experience. But I think just because it's different and it's been a while, it's nice. Because I will admit, even with Star Trek, I do miss skip intro. And I do not love commercials because it's the same ones. And then with Pluto, this gets on my wife's nerves because she was putting the channel on to go to sleep too. But with Pluto, so the original airing of the show, it's made for commercial breaks, unlike a movie. And so it has a commercial break, and then Pluto's algorithm will throw in the ads, but the commercial breaks aren't as long as the original commercial breaks were. So then when the episode's over, they've still got a block of time, like 7 minutes tops before the next hour starts. And they're trying to keep the episodes on, to start on the hour. So then they play this like Pluto screensaver with hold music for like 7 fucking minutes. And that's fucking horrible. Like 3 to 7 minutes of that can almost be brutal.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, but they got to keep it free though. I mean, that's those ads are, I mean, it's
not even an ad. It's just Pluto TV's wall screensaver. Like, it's Pluto advertising for Pluto while you're watching Pluto.
Pluto.
It's like that shitty Nicole Kidman ad before you watch a movie in the theater. It's like, I'm already in the theater.
Right.
Go away, Nicole Kidman.
Yeah, dude, I haven't been in the movie theater for so long. The last movies, I think we talked about this last time. The last things I saw were Clerks 3, and then before that, Jay and Silent Bob reboot, and then I think that was it. And like the last 5 years, that's all I've seen.
Clerks 3.
You still didn't see it?
No, I'm
I
not
did.
trying not to. I just haven't gotten
Yeah.
around to it.
All right. Well, when you do, you can get ready. You probably already know all about it. So there's like,
I was like, talk about early adopter and listen
right.
to podcasts before everybody else was. I was all about the view askew pod first, but like, I got oversaturated. Like, every once in a while, I will look for Fat Man Beyond's take on a recent nerd thing.
Yeah.
Because honestly, I like his co-hosts' takes, but
Okay.
cheese and crackers, that motherfucker, he goes nuts.
So you think that's what it is with the podcast too? It's just complete oversaturation. There's too many, and it's just like I don't care anymore. I give up. Fuck it all. I'm gonna go watch Pluto TV and watch some old episodes of whatever. Maybe some
Family
there's a lot.
Ties. There's a Family Ties channel.
There's a Family Ties on the.
So you have messed around with Pluto TV. You know.
Oh, dude, yeah, I've had a Roku TV for a long time.
Oh, I've had Roku.
Yeah, dude, the Roku has had Pluto for like, I bet I've had Pluto at least 4 or 5 years.
Freevee is Amazon's freemium, so I didn't realize this Pluto's Roku's premium.
Okay.
Are they? No, I'm asking. I'm not telling you.
Oh, no, I don't know if so. Freemium's Apple's, you said.
Freevee, FREEVEE is Amazon's.
Oh, Amazon
Premium, like they own it.
Oh, okay. I don't know who owns Pluto.
It sounded like you were saying Pluto was owned by Roku. But you can get apps put on your Roku. I guess you got a Pluto app on your Roku.
Yeah, no, I have a Roku TV.
Okay. I think.
Yeah, dude. I got a Roku TV. Like it was like I think it was by the brand Roku. I could be wrong on that. I don't know.
I think we got a little lost, but it's all right. We're just moving on.
Yeah. So okay. So like to kind of segue. So are you, when you're making art, are you watching or listening to anything in the background, or is it completely silent and cut off from everything? Like I thought about that for the podcast. Like, well, why don't I just start watching TV while I'm recording the podcast?
I would like to get your take on this because there is a podcast. I don't listen to the podcast. I listen to clips on YouTube. Like I said, I watch a lot of YouTube. And one of the shows I keep up with on YouTube is Jim Cornette's show. Now, I cannot watch wrestling anymore. I don't know why. It's just boring. I even went back. I was like, okay, because of course I'm 40, so my era was the Monday Night Wars. Yeah, I'm 42, but my era was the Monday Night Wars. So I was like, all right, let's start May 1996, Macon, Georgia. We're gonna watch Nitro. Then we're gonna watch the next Raw. Then we're gonna watch the next Nitro. Then because on Peacock I got it all right.
Yeah.
So I'm like, all right, let's try to watch. I got like 2 weeks in, and I was like, I'm bored. And this is the wrestling I'm supposed to love, and I'm fucking bored. But I do like the behind the scenes stuff. So I can't I can tell you why AEW sucks. Because Jim Cornette hates him. Jim Cornette was one of my favorite fucking dudes growing up. And then I think there's just something in the Southern DNA that sitting down and listening to a guy with that accent tell old stories is soothing. So I keep up with I either because I've probably, by the time I get down to my art desk, I've already listened to my news channels for the day. So I'm either listening to Jim Cornette or watching Star Trek.
Okay. All right. So you got Jim Cornette going through your head, or Star Trek. Is that go ahead.
I hear other wrestling people, they're like, yeah, he's okay.
Oh, dude, a lot of people, especially like, AEW hardcore fans they hate him because he's so out of touch, and
even my dad said that, and I was like, I'm sitting here going, because my dad was like, well, just remember that he doesn't know how wrestling's done today. My dad's been watching since like the NWA day. Like
Sure.
we had a VHS tape of the Crockett Cup. So like he's been watching since like mid 80s. And
Yeah.
even he's like, well, Jim Cornette doesn't know how it's done today. And listening to the clips, I keep that back in my mind. I'm like, all he's talking about is how baby faces should take on heels, and how how the booking on like say AEW is confused, which it sounds like it is. I haven't watched it. I'm only getting Jim Cornette's take. I get that. I get that I'm only getting Jim Cornette's take, but like I don't know how another take could change certain facts. Like
Right.
CM Punk walked into being WWE's #1 merch seller, and Tony Khan's got to be kicking himself. Like I don't know how you could give me another take on that. And then WWE Cornette complains that they can be boring, and that's how I feel. I mean, like that's another reason why I like Cornette is like he usually has the attitude that I do. That older was better. It was. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
I think new shit's boring. Or the deathmatch shit. He doesn't like that either. I've never been, and ECW was at its cult height peak when I was growing up, and I didn't like that then. So like, and it's not like he doesn't like any hardcore stuff, because Dusty was a hardcore dude, Dusty Rhodes, and Anyway, I'm sorry.
Son of a fucking plumber, man. Dude, I mean, yeah, I agree with 9 things out of 10 that Cornette says, and the one thing that I'm not agreeing with him on, I'm usually like, but he's got a point.
Yeah, I get it.
And like,
sometimes he has said some really problematic things, but he is a dude as old as my dad, raised in that part of the country. He's running
wrestling.
He's running his mouth off, trying to come up with the most clever thing to say. So yeah, I think at one point he did say something about like an Ethiopian kid running towards fried chicken.
Right.
That's not very good. That's horrible.
But it's what he said, and like it wasn't. It's Jim Cornette.
Is he racist? He's probably no more racist than the rest of us. Is he anti-racist? Right. Absolutely not.
Right.
But a lot of people aren't. So it's just like I'm not gonna like.
Yeah,
it is what it is. I'm not going to repeat it, but I'm not going to celebrate it, but I'm also not going to not listen because of it. So that's.
And it kind of sucks. That's kind of what he gets reduced to sometimes with a lot of newer fans.
Because he has been around for a while, and he like I don't know, like my dad's like this. It's changed. Like how's it? You still need a story of a face and a heel, and you've got to make it interesting. How is that different? Now, other than they don't do that? Oh, you don't think you do?
I don't think you do. Well, I think you do. I think it's fucking a hell of a lot easier to tell a story than to go and do a whole bunch of stupid stuff that's gonna probably kill you, and that the crowd barely cares about.
Oh my god, there's this YouTube guy, Marky123D, Marky D123. He's on YouTube. He's great. Because I stopped watching about 2000, like right before WCW just threw in the towel. And I would peek in every once in a while, and then I played the games to like 06. So like that's how I kept up with wrestling a little bit. And I didn't watch TNA. And so this guy, Marky D123 on YouTube, he basically filled in those gaps. He loves watching 2000 early mid 2000s to 2012 TNA and just doing exposés on like, was AJ Styles good? And then he'll go through so I've been able to like catch up a little bit, fill in the gaps of what I'm willing to watch there. Again, I can watch a little clip show, but I'm not watching a full match. Where was I going with that?
Jim Cornette? Maybe it was going with TNA, going with not.
I lost it. Maybe I'll get back together again. Later. I'm sorry.
Hey, dude, it's cool, man. So okay, but yeah, man, I don't know. Like, I got WrestleMania is gonna be here in April
in Pennsylvania.
In Philly. Yeah,
the 40th one too, right?
Yep. I'm not going to WrestleMania, but I'm gonna hang out there. I'm gonna go there.
The
They're doing like
tailgate.
yeah, I'm gonna tailgate. Dude, man, that's also another thing. Man, so I'm on Philadelphia TikTok. Uh, and Philadelphia sport fan TikTok is great. If you haven't watched Philadelphia fan TikTok, that's some shit, man. Philadelphia fans really like their sports teams.
Well, didn't they
Uh,
like throw shit at Santa Claus or something back in the day at a
right, yeah,
Eagles game?
yeah. I hope so. If they didn't, they did. I was thinking wrestling, but yeah, I mean, yeah, then yeah, I'm gonna go. There's like they're celebrating a lot of the ECW stuff that, and yeah, I'm
Oh
gonna
yeah,
go.
because
Because
ECW
you
is
don't like
Philly.
it.
No, ECW is also Philly.
Yeah, it was mostly Philly, and so yeah, they're doing a show on Friday night at their old the old ECW arena.
Oh, that's
I'm
cool.
gonna yeah, and so
I
like
had some friends who
got
were
a lot
into
of
it.
the old guys there. What?
I had some friends who were into it, and they got to go to a show that came into town, and I didn't get to go. But the way they talked about it, it's it was like punk rock but wrestling.
Right. Well, which I don't know, man. When was the last time you went to a wrestling show?
Oh, over 10 years ago. I still
Over.
haven't
Okay.
made. I still haven't made it to one out here, and I should have. So the
Yeah,
place I was over 10 years ago, and it was a local place.
and that was
I,
in Macon.
yeah, yeah. What was the play? Oh fuck. Starts with F. Close to Macon,
Fuck.
Middle Georgia.
Middle.
And I
Okay.
was the announcer. I think that's the last time I went is when I had something
You
to do with it.
okay? You were the announcer.
Straight man.
What was your announce voice like?
Uh I'm
Can
not.
you
I don't know if I'm
announce?
gonna. I don't think I'll be able to recorrect it. Correct? Recreate it, but it was like I was the Jim Ross. I was the play-by-play guy.
Okay, all right. And so, uh,
The only
and you,
time I drink Red Bull is before one of those.
man, dude, so you're not into the Red Bull and those kinds of? Are you in the other?
No. When I worked at a not a grocery store, but a convenience store, and you'd see the people buy like 4 Monster drinks. I'm like, how the fuck? Like, do you ever read any ingredients? Like, you should be able to pronounce everything. And like taurine, what the fuck are you doing? Like, come
Yeah,
on. And now they've just gotten worse and worse because of course they did. I mean, remember when what was that fucking drink you could get at the soda machine? Squirt? No, not Squirt.
Jolt
Uh
Cola
it was before
or
Jolt Cola, but it was
Josta?
green.
Oh,
Splurge?
Surge,
Surge, yes.
Surge,
Surge. They talked about that like it was
Splurge,
fucking crack.
dude. Because it's close. It's
Futurama made
close.
fun of it. It was so
Right.
hardcore. And now you look at Prime, and it's supposed to be like a 6-pack of Red Bull in one fucking can.
Yeah,
People are gonna get heart attacks.
like a Panera. You hear
Yeah, the
about
Panera, the lemonade.
it's dude. So I drank it a few times, not knowing that it was that. But man, yeah, I went home and dude, I was like, I think I threw up.
Ugh.
I had I think 2 cups of it. Like this is really good. But then yeah, I'm like, oh shit. My body. Yeah, man. I don't know, dude. Those drinks. Um, fuck, dude. And like, and there's so many wrestlers that love that and they just like live on it, that are always traveling around and or else, the I don't know, even the production people, they just like it's a whole thing, dude. And I don't like being that amped
Fire.
up
No.
where I feel like my heart's pounding.
It's really the point. Like there was always sort of the meme when someone would give you a hard time of abusing substances, someone would be like, caffeine's a drug. And like,
Yeah.
okay, a cup of coffee is not the same as meth, but like now when we're getting to the point, the consumption levels that we're at now, like it's no longer irony. Like, no, you are on
Right.
a fucking drug.
Yeah. Yeah. Try going off of it for a day.
Mhm.
Try waking up and not getting one at 7 in the morning on your way out to wherever to Oh god, and people don't buy them in bulk either. I don't see people buying those things in bulk. It's always go and buy, like you're saying, 3 or 4 at the store a day.
I'm looking at my avatar. And anybody listening, I use the avatar function on Zoom, and I just now found out how to actually look at myself. I look like a Wallace and Gromit character.
You do. You do.
And I've been using my hands the entire time, and you can't tell. Like, I've been resting my head on my hand. It just looks like I'm about to fall over.
It's like you have a huge head. Your head's just fucking
Well, I have
can't hold up your head. Just
I was wondering what
yeah.
you were looking at. Anyway,
I'm looking at you in fucking outer space, dude, with your fucking slick haircut, man. Uh it's pretty cool, man. I'm pretty impressed, and I'm sad I didn't know about it.
if I did a thing, I would do the VTube thing where you get like an animated character.
I mean, yeah.
But yeah, that's what I do when I draw. I listen to Jim Cornette, or some of my other podcasts, or I'm watching Star Trek.
And so is that like not interfering, but is that is that kind of making you think a certain way, or is it just sort of almost background noise? Is it putting you in a certain mindset when you're watching Star Trek and you're going, oh, we're getting Star Trek and things starting to look like red shirts or something, and like all of a sudden your character is you know beaming up, or
Neither one of them are inspirational. I mean, the Star Trek's just comfort food in the background, and then the podcasts just keep my other side of my brain working. Some people talk about listening to podcasts and doing like I can't do words and words, so I wouldn't be able to have I wouldn't be able to type an essay while listening to a podcast because it's words on words. I'm doing words while listening to words. I can draw shapes and listen to words. I can do math and listen to words, but I wouldn't be able to do words on words. I'd have to stop stop one or the other. But some people can, and that's fucking weird.
yeah, I wish I could, but
Get more stuff
I'd
done.
end up typing out whatever it is that I'm hearing. I'm like, look, that's not right. Why is my head going? Okay, I
I'm
give up.
actually coming out of a artist block. I was
Ooh,
like super productive last year, and then we took a break to celebrate our birthdays. Me and my wife's birthdays are 2 days apart. And so I stopped and I just couldn't get back. I would try, and my brain and hand just could not connect. So I just sat down between Christmas and New Year's and just like, all right, we gotta break the fuck out of this. So I gotta make some stuff going, get my Patreon, get some stuff on there. And I actually went through a wrestling block. So I got a pretty cool picture of Scott Hall I'm pretty proud of.
oh no shit,
Yeah, I'm starting to
on the
release
Patreon.
on my Patreon. I did Charlotte Flair, which was iffy. I did Sting, early Sting, which was my first one coming out of the artist block. So it's good, but not my best. And Scott Hall's really cool. And then I'm starting to post The Rock when he still had the full chaps. And I'm working on a Hogan, like early Hogan.
I totally had those rock chops.
I did too.
Yeah,
Not because of the fucking Rock.
Yeah, mine was probably because of the rock. I didn't do the thing where it was like this, where it was sort of like the little, like almost looked like a swoosh or something that he had going on.
Yeah, that's where the Star Trek chop. Not to
The
keep
Star Trek
Star
chop.
Trek chop,
Yeah.
but if you look, I don't know if everyone noticed this, but if you look at Star Trek, no matter which era, if they have sideburns, they're always to that point. It's never the block, and that's what the Rock eventually had.
Maybe the Rock was a Star Trek fan.
I seriously doubt that. Did you watch the Young Rock?
I did. I watched all of it. I
didn't watch all of it.
I liked the guy who plays Vince McMahon. did a great job. He's been going around doing this character of Dr. Phil.
Uh-huh.
It's pretty interesting. He'll go on all these comedy shows and be's Dr. Phil.
Dr. Phil
Um,
is the worst. One of the podcasts I listen to is called Behind the Bastards. And
cool.
they did
Okay.
1A of Vince McMahon that was 6 parts.
That's only 6 parts.
The let me come back to that. And then he
Okay.
did one on Phil on Dr. Phil. I will say this. I like Robert Evans, the guy who does the Behind the Bastards.
Yeah.
The very first part of the Vince McMahon one, he actually did on the Von Erichs.
For being bastards.
Yeah, he had a way different take. I've since, because of the movie that either came out or is coming out, which I haven't seen yet. I want to.
I haven't either.
Because of the movie, I have seen all these videos going over the Von Erich story, and every one of those are always positive. Behind the Bastards, his was super negative.
Cool. Okay.
And I don't know which one to believe.
But I like having that other side because there's always another side. And dude, those guys, that whole family, like they had Texas, especially Dallas, everyone, they were gods.
Yeah.
The whole fucking family. And so I mean there's gotta be someone who didn't like them. And so I feel like that could be a good way to compare and contrast. And
well, the patriarch of the daddy Von Erich, his wrestling gimmick when he was a wrestler, he wanted to come up with the worst thing ever, so he came up with a Nazi. Well, Behind the Bastards sort of takes that as he liked being a Nazi. Everyone else tells the story, including Kevin Von Erich on Vice's Dark Side of the Ring episode. He was like, he didn't act like his dad enjoyed it. He acted like his dad did pick it because it was the worst thing you could think of. So again, like it's just that, but also too, Kevin Von Erich seems like he lives in Hawaii and just smokes weed all day, and he fucking talks and acts like it. So I also can't tell how out of it or aware he is of anything at any particular point in his life.
He reminds me of another Wilson brother, like Owen and Luke.
Mm-hmm.
Just kind of one of those, just sort of. But I mean, it's same area. Maybe they are related.
They're from Texas, aren't they?
Yeah, I think they're all from Dallas. And but I mean, yeah, dude, like I think his kids are wrestling now. Not not the Wilsons, but yeah, I mean, I couldn't imagine like, having 5 brothers die and your dad, and I guess
it's a tragic story. No matter which positive or negative take you take on it, it's a horrible story.
Yeah. I think I heard with the movie they left out one of the kids' deaths because
the youngest one.
Yeah, because they thought it'd be too unbelievable that this many people died, and it would be too sad.
Well, there's only so much time in a movie. I do think Zac Efron got way too bulky to play the one that he was supposed to play. I feel like he just used it as an excuse.
Yeah, get him. All of a sudden, he's gonna have the big fucking head.
Because he was Kevin. And Kevin's not bulky.
Kevin never yeah, I mean Zac Efron just got to.
I'm talking like I'm a fucking Von Erich historian when I'm just learning this shit, because like the Texas tornado was a side character at best for me growing up.
Yeah, that was about what I got. Like it was that very short time of having the Texas tornado for like a year and a half, and then he fucking killed himself. And it's like, okay, well, there goes that guy. There's
supposed to be
there's
supposed to be this legacy family, and I didn't find this out till like recently.
Right. I would have never known if it wasn't for the internet. If the internet wasn't around, like who would have known about this stuff? And they didn't really make it a thing. Like, oh, he's from the Von Erich family. And calling him, there was probably something with not using that name in WWF, but
yeah, I find learning about the old stuff way more fun than trying to watch the new shit. It's just not it's
Yeah.
not interesting.
I feel that there's like, it's not connecting more than anything. I can't connect. And I think I find that with a lot of it, even now, just, and I think that's hard. Like stupid shit, like a fucking Texas tornado, what the fuck? But like, there, yeah. I mean, like you said, there were stories back then. There's a reason.
Well, there's stories now, but they're just so stupid.
They don't. I can't relate to them. I
Like
can't
the
relate to the
WWE,
stories.
the biggest storyline the WWE's had is the fucking bloodline.
Right.
It's like, oh, this one family's awesome and they have all the belts, and then they let this one white guy join them, and oh no, he turned against them. Like, okay, I just don't fucking care. And what's weird to me is I remember a time when they kept pushing Roman Reigns and nobody was having it.
Long time,
And then all of a sudden everybody bought it.
it worked. It
Like,
worked. Vince was just like, hold on a little bit longer. Yeah, it's gonna work. You wait. And then fucking everyone's like, oh, this guy's the greatest.
and now the big evil corporate company is actually owned by a corporation now. So it's like, there goes the what little flavor there was like left.
It's owned by Ari from Entourage. That's who owns it. Did you watch Entourage?
No, but
Okay.
I know
So
it's owned by TKO, the same company owns the UFC.
yeah, so the guy in Entourage was like the Jeremy Piven, the fucking dickhead Hollywood agent.
Mhm.
And that's who owns TKO now. So it's the fucking dickhead Hollywood agent that runs it. Which,
and then some fucking nerd owns AEW.
Yeah.
Who can't get out of his own way. I mean, seriously, like, he had Jade Cargill. They're gonna blow her the fuck up at WWE.
Yeah,
he had CM Punk. He started a show around CM Punk, Collision. And then because of these young Bucks guys who I've never seen wrestle, I hear they obviously from Cornette that they suck balls.
Cornette hates him. Cornette fucking hates him.
Yeah, the hardest part about listening to that show, and thank God I found another video made by another guy who said, okay, these are the nicknames that Cornette has for these people. I was like, oh, that's who Twinkle Toes is. I knew who Shit Stain was. That's Vince Russo. I knew that.
Okay. Yeah.
But Kenny Olivier is Kenny Omega. I didn't know that. Evidently, Kenny Omega wrestled with a sex doll, and this is what pissed
in Japan
Cornette off.
Yep. Yeah, he wrestled a sex doll, and I think the sex doll won. I could be wrong on that, but then he also wrestled a 9-year-old girl.
Yes, he also talked about that. But this is supposed to be like the superstar of their company,
right? Yeah.
And then Jericho has lost his goddamn mind.
I mean, just if last week or whatever with that shit.
Well, just in general, since he's gotten older, evidently he's lost his mind. But I used to love the Dean Malenko. Like, I'm old school WCW head, so the Dean Malenko Chris Jericho feud was so fucking funny.
Yeah,
like people hate Dean. I feel like people do not like Dean Malenko, and that made me love him.
Oh, well, it depends. It depends who you're asking about Dean Malenko, but like, yeah, man, Jericho. I don't know. Like, he put everyone over I think he needed to put over as far as new talent, but I mean, I don't know what he has left to do.
I know we don't have a lot of time. I remember why I brought up Marky 123, Marky D.
I got all time. I got all the fucking time for you, fucking Mr. Better than Martin Luther King Jr.
He did a video on Daphne.
Oh, okay.
And her last bit of her wrestling career, which was on TNA during the time period. That's why I brought up him, and I brought up the time period. And she was never, I didn't realize this because she ran with David Flair in WCW and Crowbar, but evidently she never really did any of the deathmatch stuff. But Vince Russo made her, or convinced her to do it in TNA. and they always made her lose. So she was always putting someone else over. And evidently the suspected bump that she took out of the ring onto a barbed wire table that they're pretty sure is what led to a lot of what led to her suicide. Like,
Oh shit.
she had $26,000 in medical debt from that. TNA offered her $600. And she did it because Vince Russo told her that he would back her up. And Mick Foley also encouraged her to do it because it would be as big as his Hell in the Cell bump.
Yeah, and who's talking about her bump?
Nope. That's
Who's that?
That's objectively the stupidest thing I've ever fucking heard, Mick. There were
Right.
millions of people watching your Hell in the Cell match.
Yeah.
Barely anybody knew who the fuck TNA was, and this was at its peak.
Right. And like I've probably seen that clip a couple times, but I couldn't tell you what happened the rest of the match.
Yeah, and the Hell in a Cell thing, you fell off a 2-story cage. What the fuck are you talking about? She took a bump off of out of the ring from the normal height onto a table. Like, that was not going to be the same fucking bump. Like,
yeah.
You got caught up in the moment or what the fuck ever. But like, no, I agree with the guy who did the video that was fucking bullshit. But like, yeah, that made me really sad because like, again, she came up towards the tail end of me paying attention.
Okay, yeah.
And I didn't watch any TNA until now. Now I'm watching 2008 TNA because that's where if the WCW people couldn't make it in WWE, that's where they went, was TNA.
Well, and speaking of Pluto, there's a TNA channel that plays nothing but TNA.
And that era. Yeah.
Yeah.
Which I found after I found Marky's YouTube channel. So I'm watching these matches that he's clipped. So every once in a while.
It's kind of cool. I enjoy watching that. And and a lot of people shit on that fucking 6-sided ring, but I love it. I thought it was cool.
I still hate it.
Sure. Dude, I don't know, man. Like for if it was, I don't know why it's not around now, especially with like for all the flippy floppers and shit, all the people that do all their flips. And
I thought the X Division looked cool, especially the thing on top of the mat they would do to get to the
big
belt.
X up on the top. Yeah, you gotta crawl your way across it. Yeah, that's not. It doesn't look what I would do.
Of course, when I was a kid, like Skywalker matches were my favorite too, and I like my favorite shit. Like, even though I'm sitting there talking shit on death matches, my favorite matches were the ones that they had to like either outlaw or make as safe as possible, which was Skywalker and War Games.
Sure.
Like,
yeah.
Every year, I felt like War Games got softened and softened and softened and softened because everybody was like, "Holy shit, what the fuck have we gotten ourselves into?"
Yeah, these guys are just beating the hell out of each other and everyone's all busted open. And okay.
And then Jim Cornette blew out both knees doing a Skywalker match.
You just see how pissed he is. I mean, like, if I blew out one knee, I could only imagine blowing out two, and especially
at the same time.
Yeah, with people who like, with that many people watching and knowing how important he is and knowing who he's working with, I can understand him being pretty pissed off. But I'm sure it made for some great
stuff. And the first match I remember seeing live was like a Road Warriors versus Koloff Skywalker match. Well, Road Warriors are also my absolute favorite. Yes, in Macon.
Dude, that's a hell of a thing. Let me hold on 1 second. Let me see if I can grab this.
I tried feeling Road Warriors are the best. It really sucks how Hawk went, how they treated Hawk. Animal just kept up the hustle. I've been seeing pictures. I don't know if anybody listening has ever seen this little green Asian guy. Oh, real men wear war paint and spikes. That's awesome.
The host just leaving, man. I
tried to fill in some time. Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, right. I
Real men
found this.
wear paint.
Yeah, wear paint
I
and
don't know
spikes,
what,
man.
like, when I was a kid, just like, I don't, if you took a design and utilized shoulder pads, it was just
Yeah,
the coolest thing. I recently bought the Funko Pops for Mad Max and the character with the mohawk from the Road Warrior movie. And then
all
when I
right.
was a kid and you just see those Road Warriors come out with the fucking spikes,
Yeah,
it's just fucking awesome.
yeah.
I drew me as a Road Warrior because fuck, they're awesome.
I thought you were gonna say you got some shoulder pads with some spikes.
I just wish I had shoulder pads.
Yeah, I mean,
I miss football.
you could. I mean, yeah, you could probably get some shoulder pads.
You can. It's cheaper than you think it is.
Yeah,
Yeah, I think I remember went to a sports store a couple years ago. I was like, oh my god, this shit's cheap.
yeah. I mean,
It would be a lot if you bought it all at once. You'd be dropping like $300, but like you could buy like a helmet this paycheck, pads next paycheck, blah blah blah. But then
right.
playing football solo's not fun.
Well, I mean, you'd score a touchdown every time, or you'd be a great blocker if it's just one person.
But yeah, the
No
Road
one ever get
Warriors.
past you. Yeah.
Road Warriors are the best. My top is Road Warriors, either one of them, Undertaker and Sting. And as of this year, all of my favorite wrestlers will now have been retired.
I mean, yeah, dude, Sting. Watching him do stuff right now is insane.
Insane, good or bad? Because he doesn't
I don't
even
know,
like.
man.
When I saw that he was always wearing a shirt all the time, I'm like, oh, buddy.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's
that's
like
to hide
Flair.
something.
Yeah, it's like Flair.
Flair looks like a melting candle.
Dude, yeah, and he's sort of going. I mean, I don't know. I guess I'm jealous. I wish I could be in my 60s or 70s and still wanting to take bumps and shit, but yeah, it's just an anomaly them being like that, man. Like, good for them. And I don't know like what life will be like when they can't do that. I don't know what Flair's gonna do.
He's hawking energy drinks right now.
Yeah, dude,
and buffalo wings.
Yeah,
woo!
You think he drinks energy drinks? You think
I don't think he actually drinks this drink, but he put his catchphrase on it and sells it. He signed a sponsorship deal with AEW.
Yeah. I don't know. Like, I don't think his heart could take it, but I'm sure I don't know his heart can take a lot of things.
He's almost 80, bro.
Yeah.
Cheese and crackers.
Dude, I can't believe that. I mean, then same with like with Terry Funk, same thing. It was just like, how, what, why, like, but then what do you do when you're done? Then it's just,
yeah, it's not like anyone was paying attention to him before he passed away.
Fucking Terry, man. Like, yeah, he was like, I think he had Alzheimer's or something, or
that's like my biggest fucking nightmare, is being old enough to get dementia. Like, if my brain's gone, that's a personal hell. Losing a limb is second to that.
What limb?
Any of them.
What limb would be first? What would be the worst limb to lose?
Any of them. Like, honestly, if I wasn't able to like move or getting old, all of it sounds horrible. Like, be limited in that way is different. I just got recently diagnosed with diabetes.
No shit.
A little bit of it was me. And like, look at my weight now, it's like, no shit, you were gonna get diabetes. But like, for the first time, I've got to work at being healthy. And I know getting to 42 and just hitting that is more than some people get, but it was a little bit of, I mourned my youth a little bit for the first time. And I've never been one to like care how old or young I was. I've always been sort of content with whatever I was at the time. But this was the first time it's like, oh shit, like stuff's not gonna work just because I want it to.
Right.
And now I've got to pay attention if I want it to work right. And I still am having a hard time getting it under control, but
What
yeah. So all of it sounds horrible.
what's is that so? I mean, is that like something where you have to, do whatever, eat
I need to
different?
basically all the things I've been saying for the last 5 years. I need to do. I have to do, or I'm going to get
Okay.
gallstones. Right now, I'm not going to get sugarfoot or nothing. But like,
Okay.
she said, the first bad thing I got to look forward to is just like gallstones, which is a bitch.
So what do gallstones like? Here's Dr. Rusty knows nothing about gallstones.
Me neither. I'm not going to be able to give you a perfect. I didn't go
Okay.
look up how bad that was because I just know it's bad, and I've had friends who, and family who've had to like have gallstone surgery to get it. Like they've either had, I think my sister-in-law, they did a sonic thing to like break them apart, or maybe that was her kidney stones. I don't fucking know. I don't want either one of them. So
Right.
I need to get my shit together. And that just means diet and exercise. Like right now, I'm on a pill. I don't have to poke myself. I forget you can't see my
Oh,
fucking gestures. I don't have to do injections. I just take a pill to tell my
okay.
liver to stop making so much goddamn sugar.
Yeah.
And I can diet and exercise my way off of it. I just got to do it.
Okay. Is there stuff that you thinking about with that? Like, is
Are there
this a
changes
stupid
I need to do?
question? Yeah, like they're like you're like
Well,
gonna go run around
well, I think I'll help you out.
yeah,
I think the first assumption is you need to watch your sugar intake, which you do. But the
yeah,
hardest part is actually watching your carb intake because that turns into sugar.
and spikes.
So it's the secondary stuff that's harder to watch more than just sugar because it's pretty. I had already a couple of years ago. I decided to, like I said before, look at ingredients, and if I can't pronounce them, I probably shouldn't be eating them. And so I eating cleaner is what they call it. And then I was already watching like my sugar intake to begin with. 4 grams of sugar is 1 spoonful of sugar. And
Is
and
that
once
the
you
daily? Oh,
once you realize that that's how much is in the item you're about to eat, it sort of can help you visualize. So when you look at something, it says 28 grams of sugar. You divide that by 4, you're like, oh my fucking God, that's like half a cup of sugar in this one candy bar. No, thank you. Like, I don't
yeah.
need that much sugar. There's a really good Australian doc that I found. I'm not gonna say how, it might not have been legal. That he does. Do you remember the Super Size Me challenge? Where the guy ate McDonald's for 30 days?
Yeah.
Well, this guy in Australia did that, but for only things that are advertised as healthy. So like lean cuisines and healthy choice
Oh
and that type
no.
of stuff. He ate that for 30 days and
He
had
died.
almost the same kind of results that the McDonald's guy had because they just take out the fat and replace it with sugar.
Yep. Yeah, dude. I mean, that was the thing back in the 90s and shit was the man, I had a friend's mom was always into diets and all kinds of shit. And
Yeah.
man, when the fat-free stuff came out, she was all over that. But it was just loaded with sugar and
Or
all these
salt.
preservatives and salt and
Yeah.
just all kinds of fucking garbage. So yes, I mean,
But he
yeah,
did the whole thing the Super Size Me guy did, where he got his blood test done and had a physical before and after. And yeah, he had to like his body, like it was really bad. And he did a really interesting thing too in the doc where he again it's Australian, so they went to an Aboriginal reservation, and he said before Western eating habits were introduced to the tribe, they would have the equivalent of 1 hard candy a year in sugar. Now there's Coke machines everywhere, and everyone's got diabetes and heart problems and blah blah blah. And so that was cool learning about that. So this was like probably 8 years ago that I had already gotten into that. So I've been on the brink. It's probably what kept me from getting diabetes earlier, because
yeah.
my doctor said I probably haven't had it long. And so that's
Okay.
probably what kept me from getting it earlier, is I had already started to, and I knew the weight was that I'm heavy, and I knew that if I didn't do something beforehand, I was going to get diabetes. Then COVID hits, and I sort of let a lot of shit go.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, I got to get back to pre-COVID health.
Yeah, COVID was I don't know, man.
Well, it's still
Yeah.
going on.
Yeah, well, I guess so. Yeah, I saw that I think in Boston and New York they're both starting to gear back up, and at least in the hospitals, and I think the firefighters have to
Well, it spikes
mask up.
during the colder months because people go inside and they're nestled together more. I mean, at this point, it's an endemic. It's going to be around. There's no going to be such thing as zero COVID. But
Yeah,
I have
yeah,
no problem. The people who get freaked out when a hospital says to mask up, I'm like, yeah, okay, that makes sense.
yeah, yeah. In a hospital, that's fair. That's because you never know. But everyone else, like, I don't know. I was I don't know. But I was also around a lot of people who were not into wearing masks, so it kind of
It's okay. I know
yeah.
we talked about this a little
Yeah,
bit
we
last time,
talked
I
about it
think.
last time, and everyone was like, "Nope, don't really care." So,
But
but
I think in a hospital, I think
and
you like
I
I watch a show every morning with a libertarian
yeah,
who will not shut the fuck up about what's going on college campuses. Um, but yeah, he like freaks out whenever like I said, even a hospital's like, we're gonna do a mask for the campus. And it's like, okay, yeah, that makes sense.
yeah. But so because I've had it too, like where it's like you wear it. Man, I had to wear it when I got when I get uh do get like chiropractor
Mhm.
appointments wearing a mask. Didn't like that part. But I
Nobody
was
likes wearing a mask. It's
yeah,
not fun. Even the
right.
people who support
Ah,
wearing a mask during certain times. Look, is there some people who probably do like it? Of course, everybody
yeah,
likes something. But I'm saying
right.
like I have no problem following reasonable mask requests,
Yeah,
and I don't like fucking wearing it.
yeah. Okay.
It's not fun. I
Yeah.
am a naturally hot person. I have a fan. I'm in the middle of a snow day and I've got the fan on.
What kind of
If
fan?
if my wife would allow me, I'd open the fucking window. So the internal is hot and it's coming out and it's going right back in my goddamn face. I don't
Yeah,
have fun with it either. But I find it to be for me personally, it's a reasonable ask, especially in situations like a fucking hospital.
okay. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, yeah, in a hospital, it's because there are definitely people who are
Sick
sick
and
and
have
could
the comorbidities and who are
right,
older. Like, no matter what you want to say about who's susceptible to COVID and who isn't, the hospitals where those people are gonna fucking be.
right. Yeah, and yeah,
And
those
if
yeah,
masks didn't work on some level, then why the fuck have we been wearing them in OR rooms?
that's a good point. Well, I mean, some
I'm
of
not gonna get
them,
into the efficacy. I'm just gonna say they have some.
yeah, yeah, and like I don't know, yeah, some things were like I yeah, I mean, yeah, I mean, they've always been wearing them. They've been wearing masks for fucking
For
forever, and those
sanitation reasons. And so that's all that
right,
again, are reasonable. Are there some, and I never policed motherfuckers.
yeah,
I
you
don't even
weren't
get a fucking eye. I mean, because like every one of my family members did not get vaccinated, except for my
okay,
dad.
yeah,
And that's just because he worked at the military base. And so it was a testing mandate. So it's like you get a vaccination or you get tested, you got to get tested. And he got tired of being asked to get tested. So he just got vaccinated and then you have to get tested all the time. And so like he's the only one. And I knew way better than to go like, you should get vaccinated. The only person I was sort of like that with was my brother, and that's just because I knew that he could take me prompting him. And he still didn't do it.
yeah.
I got
Well,
vaccinated once and only got COVID in the middle of my jabs.
you got in the middle of it.
Yeah, because you get one jab to like get your body ready, and then you're
Yeah,
supposed to come back for another one in like a week. And in between that, I had a friend give it to me.
Oh, were you wearing masks during the middle of that?
We went out to eat, so
Uh-huh.
we weren't
And
wearing a mask, and she got it from going to some place and having clam chowder by the coast. That she thinks. I don't fucking know.
yeah, and yeah, I mean it's always interesting, yeah, doing like the patient zero. Who was it? Who got me? Who? Oh, and where'd you get? I mean, in the end, it doesn't really matter all that much. It's just you got it, and now, uh,
Yeah, I only got it the one time that I know of. Stephanie
yeah,
got it. My wife got it like 3 times.
no shit.
Yeah.
Oh,
I'm really
but
gross. And so I'm really gross. So I think that's why my immune system's pretty cool.
yeah, me, me too.
I'm so
Uh,
gross. I'm the grossest.
yeah, well, the grossest and better than Martin Luther King Jr. Um, so would Martin Luther King Jr. have gotten
Yes.
COVID probably?
Oh,
Because
COVID.
he's
What do you got at COVID? That's not where I thought. Let's go.
well,
Anyway, so
that
yeah,
could have yeah.
I've been doing some wrestling art. And I'm working on opening a new store, sticker store. 'Cause I had a store on Etsy, but then and I
Is
was doing
Etsy kind of
fandoms.
shitty?
I was doing fandom stickers, and Star Trek and Batman shut me down.
Okay, so I was gonna ask you about that. What the legalities around that? Because I have a buddy, my buddy Gareth. He does a whole bunch of miniature everything, like a whole and like if it's I think it has to be like at least 1/8 the size of whatever it is
Mhm.
for it to be legal to where you
I
can
don't
get
know
around
about
the
that stuff.
copyright.
Stephanie looked it up, and basically Marvel leaves you alone because of the cons. They know that people sell stuff at cons, and then that actually helps the brand.
Okay.
I think if DC was by itself, meanwhile, Disney is famously litigious, and they don't like it when you do Star Wars shit. But I
Right.
do think they leave Marvel. They let a lot of these places run themselves, and so
Okay.
Marvel doesn't go after a lot of shit. So I never had to worry about them. DC is owned by Warner Brothers, and Warner Brothers don't give a fuck.
Yeah,
And
I
then
mean
Star
they
Trek
got
is
Six Flags, dude.
no, I mean they don't give a fuck. As in, like, they will go after everything.
Oh, okay. All
So
right.
they hit me with Batman, and
So do
then
you have that framed?
what?
Do you have it printed out and framed? The litigious
No,
claim,
no,
dude.
it actually it
With
bummed
you
me the
being
fuck
such a
out.
what?
It bummed me the fuck out, man. Star Trek and Batman are my 2 favorite fandoms, and they shut down my fucking Etsy store.
Well, yeah, I don't know. I would look at it like I know that like
That I'm
that's your
competition with them.
that's your favorite. That one that your competition with them, and two that like it's basically like getting a personal letter from the people who run
First off, that's not
Batman.
how it works. They send Etsy a notice, and Etsy sends me a message,
Oh, that sucks.
and they shut me down. And so then I tried to open up my new store on Etsy, and they wouldn't let me because they saw that the IP was connected.
Oh,
Because I'm gonna do a new store I'm not gonna fuck with fandoms. It's gonna be dog stickers and leftist propaganda stickers, and it's called
both both.
Puppyganda.
I think you said Puppy Gate.
No,
Um, it
Puppyganda.
probably wouldn't be as left of
So I gotta open it up. I gotta start my own site, which I just said I didn't want to run a website, but I got to. And I'm working on doing a dog a day, which if you just follow me on social media, you'll get to see the dog a day as I build up my dog sticker collection.
and it's
And I'm gonna
usually your dog,
do
right?
right now it's my little dog Chomsky, named after
Chomsky. Okay.
Noam Chomsky. He
All right.
loves chicken and has a deep hatred of neoliberalism. That's um and then I'm gonna do my oldest dog, Zed, the Zed word, who's like
This
my Chomsky's a Maltese mix. Zedward is a Silky, which is like an Australian Yorkie. And then
okay.
I got 3 more friends. I got 2 friends with 2 dogs apiece. I'm gonna do their dogs, and then I'm just gonna slowly do. I'll take suggestions.
So like people are gonna start hitting you up and being like,
Can you do my French dog? Sure. And
yeah,
if I've got your kind of dog, you just want different markings, sure, hit me up. Because the more inventory I build up with the more different dogs, the more people just pick what I got.
okay,
And then
yeah,
I'm also gonna do, stuff with Eugene Debs quotes and shit.
which is like,
He was the guy who ran for president from prison as a socialist.
he ran from prison, what,
As a socialist, he was the
in,
most
in
popular.
prison?
Yeah,
Okay,
that's why everybody thinks like, oh, if we send Trump, if we put Trump in jail, he can't run. Like, nope, he absolutely can. You dumbass.
and so is that going to be one of the stickers?
No, I'm not. I mean, like, I'll probably have some anti-Trump stuff, but I'm not. Orange man bad is not the end of my politics.
Okay, yeah. Well, okay, so then you're able to. Are they? You said they're 2 separate stores, or are they one a
One,
store? One.
one.
Okay, and so your website,
I don't
because you
have it
had a
up yet.
good. Are you working on it?
Not till I get some inventory built up.
Are you gonna have AI assist you on making it, or are you?
No, I
Nope.
don't plan on. I don't plan on it. Why would I? What? I haven't even heard about this. AI will help you build the website.
Yeah, dude. Real quick, you can go and take. You can go and take any website as like a template, and you go and you just do. I want it like this, and it'll do it like in the exact same format, just to make everything sort of like movable and usable. And
As an artist, I'll probably want too much control.
that's kind of what I figured with that. Yeah, like me, I could give less of a fuck. Like
Yeah.
I'm no artist. But yeah, I mean, it takes a lot to make a website, and so I mean, better than Martin Luther King Jr. So
Now, if you follow me on Patreon, I'm still working on fandom stuff, and so if you follow me on Patreon, you can catch that stuff. What I'm working on, which I'm working on 3 projects simultaneously. I'm working on an MCU poster with all the characters from phases 1 through 3. So that means up until Endgame.
an
MCU,
MCU,
Marvel
okay.
Cinematic Universe.
Okay, all right.
I'm doing a big Batman poster with all the different versions of Batman.
Okay.
And then I'm doing I'm actually working on 4 pieces. Then I'm doing a Star Trek timeline. I'm really into doing these big collage pieces with a lot of characters, so I'm just gonna be slowly working on those as I go, and then when I'm gonna sell them in a secret shop where Warner Brothers and CBS can't fucking find me, that you can only get access to if you follow me on Patreon.
Dude, they're fucking cool, man. My buddy Stefan, I think you met him one time. Shout out to him. But he had this poster that someone made of all these like old wrestlers, just like this huge collage of like probably 100 old wrestlers, and just some fucking weird guy made it, and he ended up giving it to me when he moved. But something like that.
That's the 4th project I'm gonna work, because I've enjoyed doing these wrestling pieces, so I'm gonna probably work them into a big wrestling collage that starts with the Crockett Cup, and then we'll go till the Attitude Era when I stop watching.
So are you?
I wanted to slowly build up from the bottom. Again, I forget you can't see my goddamn gestures.
It's cool, man. I'm just assuming you're flipping me off all the time and sticking your tongue out or something. So, are your pictures, are those ones? Or is it all? It's all in the same style. It's in the D Jacob style that we all know and love, correct? Or is it different? Is it realistic?
Oh no,
like the ultra realistic, or is it with a crayon? Or
it's not with a crayon. I do cell shaded work basically, and it's all digital. I do it on my iPad, and then transfer it to Photoshop and clean it up, add some effects. Yeah, no, I don't have the patience to do photorealism. That's why I do cartoons, and that's why I just call myself a cartoonist.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cartoonist. Okay.
You can see a lot of my stuff on DeviantArt.
DeviantArt.
Yeah, I still rock with that.
Are you deviant? Are you deviant?
No. I
No.
mean, I've
You're
never been
artist?
asked to do anything crazy because I take
Yeah.
commissions. If anyone's listening and wants one, I
Ooh.
take commissions, but I have an HBO rule. Like, I'll
Okay.
do erotica, but nothing
Yeah.
that you wouldn't see on HBO.
Okay, because I was asking my buddy the other day about this. What was the weirdest request that he's ever gotten? Um, have you had any? You don't have to say specifically. I guess I could ask you. Have you had any that were more than the
I've never been asked to do
HBO?
anything risque,
Okay.
but
What?
I've got the rule in case I am.
Okay, I was gonna say, was there something that created the rule?
I'm just not. I would feel like it just make me uncomfortable. I come from a weird background, and I got my own fucked up things towards sex and erotica and stuff, and I would just feel too silly.
Okay.
It's really feeling silly than like condemnation or anything. Like, go for it. Like, one of the people I learned under loves doing erotica, so I'm not bashful around it or anything. It's just like I haven't drawn. I mean, and there's also things like I don't draw a lot of dicks. I'm like the one dude who hasn't.
You,
I
you know
barely
what?
draw a lot of tits. It's like
Yeah. And yeah, man,
ironically, the first time I sold a piece, I sold nude art, but yeah.
what was it?
I was 7th grade. This guy asked me to draw a naked lady, so I did, and he gave me $3.
Cool.
Yeah. And I think I just traced it and just didn't put the lines of the costume on. So, like, yeah.
I mean, that's pretty awesome. And so what did that get your head going and thinking when you made these $3 by tracing uh,
It was well,
naked
first off,
women?
I had my own stash. This is before
Okay,
internet,
right. I
fapping.
know.
It was the Sears
Yeah.
catalog.
Yeah, there wasn't a lot, man.
You could barely get your hands. You had to send off to get a Victoria's Secret one.
Yeah.
So
well,
it wasn't like it was a sexy lingerie.
right.
And then you'd
yeah,
have to catch those green still images and like, people used to make fun of Mr. Skin, which at this point is ancient internet. But
Skin.
like, I knew time codes for sex scenes on Indecent Proposal.
Right. Yeah. I know where to turn to. This is
So
gonna be all right.
I made my own stash of traced drawn erotica, pornography. And then my stepmom cleaned my room one day and found it and got very upset.
So when she found it, do you remember what happened with it?
Yeah, I mean, they destroyed it. I was on a camping trip with my dad and my youth
Oh
group.
no. Oh.
And then dad got a call and then we had to leave. I honestly don't remember what the confrontation was like. I just remember that part
Getting
of
in
it.
trouble.
But
Yeah.
yeah, they were, ridiculous about some stuff.
Yeah, some
I
point
honestly think if my kid had done that and I found it, I'd be like, okay, don't let what are you doing? Don't let your stepmom find this shit.
Yeah.
Keep your room
find a better
clean, and she wouldn't have been in there.
Yep. Yeah, man. Yeah.
Honestly, out of the things that you could catch your kid doing,
Yeah.
it's not that high.
Finding some magazines hidden wherever you hid your magazines.
I think that's worse.
Yeah.
Because you probably had to steal them. I made my shit. DIY.
Yeah, DIY is right, man.
Use some little scribble triangles around the crotch, a couple of circles on the boobs. Bob's your uncle, you got porn.
Yeah, dude, I mean, that seems all right. I'd be stoked if I was that age and someone gave me that drawing. I'd probably pay $3 for it. That would probably have been a little bit before I was, selling porn on eBay, probably a few years before. But it was cool. It was cool. Like, people, sex sells. Sex sells.
But yeah, I just don't feel I haven't drawn a lot of that stuff to begin with. I mean, I sketch, I do figure drawing and the women are nude and stuff, but again, I didn't say I wouldn't draw nude figures. I said HBO. So like I don't draw people doing cunnilingus.
Okay, dude. I mean, if someone asked for that, it would probably be a pretty tame request. Some of the shit that I've heard that people,
I see some of it on DeviantArt. Like I don't, a lot of ropes.
a lot of ropes is a real big thing, man.
Ropes
I don't
and
know.
fat chicks
Ropes and fat chicks together.
sometimes, but not really.
Sometimes not. Yeah.
I see a lot of the stuff where like they'll draw Natalie Portman just comically huge. And I'm just like Gilbert Grape's mom huge. And I'm just like, why? I mean, like, go for it. I don't care. I just don't get it.
Yeah.
Again, I don't judge. It's just a matter of what I'm comfortable doing.
Yeah.
And again, it's because of I came from a place where I get in trouble if I did comic book women just standing naked. So like I've got fucked up. I have fucked up associations with sex. So it's a me thing, not the customer.
Yeah. And there's other people who would be happy to draw
Exactly.
or create. And you probably know them. You probably have your favorites of them. And you can say, hey, go talk to, Billy. Billy can draw awesome one, exactly what you're looking for. And maybe Billy cut you like 20%.
So yeah, I'm doing a dog a day, working on figuring out what the style for the dog cartoons is going to be. So you get to see that.
What do you mean style?
I don't how I'm going to draw it. Like I don't know a simpler way to say it than I'm figuring out what the style for the cartoons is going to be for the dogs is going to be. I'm not doing it photorealistic, so I'm doing it stylized. I'm trying to pick which style I'm going to do it in. And then figuring out how to do my dog in that style, because he's one of the things, like he doesn't have a pronounced nuzzle snout, so I keep drawing it too long, so I'm still trying to figure out how to do it right. I'm playing around with eye style, so you get to see that process as well. Not all of these are end up being stickers, but do a dog a day so you get something back for your money. So if you sign up for like $1 on my Patreon, or honestly, if you just follow my shit for free, you still get to see it. And if you sign up for $5, you get to see the process on my more complicated pieces. So sketch to rough to sketch, lines to color, different shading that I do.
And
if you pay $10, you get to see the process of that going.
That's what, yeah. And so, we were talking about that before we hopped on. Would that be just like an overhead camera down on?
No, you're talking about time lapse. Right now I'm fucking around with just GIFs of the process. I do everything digitally on my iPad, so it's just screenshots. And so I take screenshots of the different processes, and then you can see that. I've been wondering if GIFs would be even better than the time-lapse videos. Though I have some time-lapse videos where that you can watch.
Well, so like a GIF that would be, let's say, like a 3-4 second GIF, would that be a very fast from beginning to end, making your whatever?
If you were interested, if I try to make what I would want if I was learning, because I'm self-taught, and so like what I would look for is either styles that I really liked, or what I really was looking for was half-finished pictures, so that I could see the sketching underneath the picture. And then I wish I had more time lapses around when I was growing up, but it's so easy to make now. I love watching time lapse videos.
So is it just screen recording then?
Yes, but you can open up the GIF in preview, and it'll show you each slide, so you don't have to wait for it to come back around. You can see each, and so I almost wonder. I'm playing with it. I'm trying to get feedback. I'm wondering if that's even better, because the files are smaller. You can. It's easier to put on your phone, or like I said, you can stop and see everything. You don't have to pause. Blah blah blah.
Yeah.
Because the time lapses, you don't want a real-time time lapse video. That you don't want a 3-hour time lapse video. So those get sped up. Those get sped up too. And like we said beforehand, I plan on doing some live streams where you can see me do it real time.
Yeah.
And we'll
So
probably
with
bullshit.
with those, would you just like screen record your computer or your iPad, or
Yes.
you okay? It wouldn't be
Like I said, I've
yeah.
already got some of those up, and if you want to see what the gifts look like, you could probably pull up right now the Patreon.
Well, so it is patreon.com
/DJR DJacobRyals
DJ
DJacobRyals
Art.
ART.
Okay. There we go. Oh wait, no. Damn it. I forgot the .com. Patreon. Why am I getting ArtStation? Dude, I can't search. Let me go into Google. So Google. So
DJacobRyals, all one word, and then Patreon. And that should bring it up.
Patreon. Okay. That looks like on DeviantArt. Is that where I'm going?
Nope, because we didn't.
Nope. Patreon.
There you go.
Why am I not seeing Patreon on here? It looks like DJacobRyals Patreon, right? I can't.
D Jacob. Hold on. I don't know. D Jacob. That's
D Jacob. I know fucking D.
I don't know that you do it though. Okay, here. I'll send you the link in our chat.
Yeah, let's do that, man. I think that.
Crackers.
Yeah, dude. I mean, the technology, man. You know, it's not quite my game yet. As you can tell with some of this. Where do I get in the chat? There's the chat.
I'm sorry, the messenger. I sent it to the messenger.
Oh, and the messenger and the Facebook Messenger. So I'm gonna go into the Facebook Messenger, dude. Oh man, this is why I don't edit later on, because then you don't get all this. There you go, Patreon. Yes, where that's what I was putting.
You know what? Okay. I just realized though that you aren't gonna be able to see that because you're not a member. So let me just send you one of the gifts.
Oh, okay.
And you can see what I'm talking about.
I want to start copying here. Okay, that was for the Patreon part of this. So are you sending me back in Facebook?
Yeah. Oh, couldn't send. Why couldn't you send?
Okay.
Yeesh. It's so big. Hold on.
So here's this. So this is what it looks like. If you guys are wanting to get up on this. Shazam. I see a Shazam.
Yep.
Shazam. And dude, yeah, look at that, man.
You can also sign it for free for 7 days to try it out.
It seems like a good deal. What do you have to lose with 7 days? Okay, and then there's Chomsky. All right. Oh, and that's okay. Yeah, you gotta fucking pay the troll toll. To,
yep.
All right.
You can see how that came along.
All right. And okay, is it cold there still a little bit?
It's like this snow apocalypse has been what's the least amount of snow that can fall, and it's still bring the city to a standstill. That's from my area. I've heard other areas have been out without power and stuff, so it hasn't been as good for everybody else as it has been for me.
And so, yeah, dude, I don't know, man. Like it's not that. You gotta stay warm. You gotta. Are you going out at all? Are you going out?
No, I haven't been out in like 2 days. Besides to walk the puppies.
Okay. All right.
Go through.
You what? Oh, okay. You're talking to yourself, because.
No, I wanted to see if the
Stinger. Oh shit! No, I got the stinger. Let me share. Okay.
So now you can throw that up on the screen too if you want. That'll show you the gift that I'm talking about, and you can get access to that kind of stuff. That'll show you the thing. You get access to that for $10. I also give you a low res version of the Photoshop file so you can see how I've got everything set up.
And so that's pretty fucking cool. Um,
I'll send you the finished pic if you want.
yeah, dude,
You like
that'd
it?
be fucking awesome. Yeah, dude, like I wish I could do this, but then why would I don't get, I wouldn't be, if I could do it, then it wouldn't be anything. But I can go and since you're better than Martin Luther King Jr., I you can I can watch this, dude. This is cool. So like,
Yeah, so I'm wondering if this is better or if people at least like it as much as a time lapse video.
you know, what I think if you did this and threw on some music, maybe Sting's entrance music or something, and put it on a TikTok or something, I think that could be pretty cool. I'd watch that if like if it's however long this is, 10 seconds or so.
Mhm.
Just have something like that. Throw on whichever Sting song entrance music you want to use. Um, Hopefully you don't get hit with some sort of sound thing.
Yeah.
Like, you can't use our sound, as they like to sometimes. But yeah, man, that's fucking cool. I'm glad you're arting. And so like when I was gonna ask you this too. So when you have artist block, or uh you know whatever, I'm used to writer's block or whatever. Um if you ever get there again, if it's not me, uh or it may be me, if you ever do again, um hypnosis, I can hypnosize you.
Mhm.
And I do it with writers, but I bet I can do it with artists to do the same thing. If you ever get stuck on something, or if you don't want to deal with me, find another hypnotist or something, and get a hold of them and tell them to get a hold of me, and I'll tell them what to do.
Okay.
But yeah, man, like, because yeah, what I like doing with that, I like doing what past life, whatever, whatever people see that as, however you look at it, their past life regression thing. Um, and you'll definitely see something, and you'll definitely have something to work on after that meeting. So if you ever come up to that point again where you're like, don't know what to do, hit me up, man. And I'd be happy to do that with you if you are interested. Because I don't I don't like seeing artists get blocked. I like people who make art to be able to flourish and uh surge yourself out, surge everything out. And and what else? What was those other fucking energy sodas? I don't know. But yeah, man, if you get to a point, because yeah, it sucks. I've had writer's block. I can't draw. If I did, I've had fucking artist block for 41 years. So, you know, um, but yeah, man. So it was just, you just said, fuck it, I'm just gonna do it, and that's what got you out.
I mean, I just tried. I mean, I was feeling froggy. I had never really drawn a lot of wrestlers. Like I said, it's a wrestling thing. I get in a mood, and then I lose it. I get in a mood. It probably frustrated my dad because
You told him?
it really sucked when I stopped watching because he kept trying to force it back on me. I was like, Dad, I'm just bored. I don't give a fuck what Snitsky is doing to Kane.
Oh, okay, well,
He punted a baby. Like, can we
yeah.
stop? Like, it's boring. Like, this is too much. Um, and like he'd be like, then try to talk about the last pay-per-view. I'm like, uh-huh. And I would just let it die because it's like, I'm just not interested. So anyway, like I'd be into it. Like I remember popping up for my birthday and like, oh my God, RoboCop is getting Sting out of a steel cage. What the fuck? And then I
And
wouldn't watch forever. And then the
then you,
NWO
yeah.
came out. I'm watching with my friends every week. And then right before the company dies, I'm down again. And now it's like I said, I get in a mode and I just want to learn about old wrestling, and I like to hear the behind the scenes stuff. And yeah, I was in a mode and I was like, all right, I want to let's draw some wrestlers, see if that gets me out of it. And I just, that's what they tell you. And whether it's writer's block or artist block, is that you just got to fucking try and do it. And I've been fortunate enough for my health and well-being, but not for my talent, that I never was like gonna starve if I didn't draw. Because I mean, like, those people can't afford to get artist block. So you just move through it. And yeah, I'll just get these bouts where it's like my head and hand do not want to coordinate. And I know I get people who think that I'm flaky because I don't get a picture out to them when I'm supposed to. And it's like, no, I'm just as upset as you are. I have pieces I want to have done, but my talent is flaky on me. And talking to my therapist, he's like, because my wife was hoping that I have ADHD, and I don't. But my therapist said that most artists have, or creatives have, some form of it, have some traits. And that's probably part of mine, is just like the brain just doesn't want to click into gear. And so I just did my best to force it in because I really do want to be more productive. I've been wanting to start this new sticker shop for like probably a year, and I just haven't gotten around to it.
And now it's in the process.
And I want people to follow the Patreon, so I got to create art for that.
Are you putting shit on TikTok? Are you TikToking at all? Is that, I see some stuff on there, but it's not.
I haven't really. I will, but not yet. I'm not I'm not naturally a video person. So that's always sucked about the current trend, is TikTok and videos, and I don't really fuck with video a lot. So it's something I gotta force myself to do. It's not something I'm already doing. Like Facebook and Instagram, I'm already making pictures.
Right. You just have to hit upload and put hey, link.
So that's not hard for me to add to whatever I'm doing, but to do video, I mean, putting, like, another reason why I like the GIFs, and you're right, I could turn them into videos and throw them on TikTok. The other reason why I like make the GIFs is, like, I also have to go through all the editing that I have to do when I make a time lapse.
So what kind of editing do you do on a time lapse?
Well, again, the screen recording that you have is going to be way longer than you want to upload, so I've got to quicken it. I usually so I start on my iPad, but I finish in Photoshop. So then I got a screen recording of the iPad and the phases I do through that, and then I got a screen record of Photoshop. And that's not fun either, because I'm not doing the whole screen. I'm just concentrating on where the work is. And everything on the outside of your screenshot, as I'm sure you're aware, is dark. So then, like, all my shit's darker. And then I gotta, oh my God. So I have found some free, some royalty-free music, but it's not always the exact length of my video. Sometimes it's longer, sometimes it's shorter. I don't know about if you've ever fucked with this, but I have taken some, like, EDM or dubstep songs and slowed them down so much that it actually gave me a fucking headache. And I didn't know what it was at first, because I was like, why would I think that was? But, like, I would be playing this music, trying to make sure it was lined up. And when you're editing stuff, you're constantly going from place to place, and you're listening to it, you're watching the whole thing, make sure it looks blah, blah, blah. Quality control, all that. And so, like, I just, like, why am I getting a fucking headache? And then I stop the music and it goes away. I'm like, oh my fucking God, I didn't even know that was, like, a fucking thing.
Who's making this shit?
So anyway, so it's just it's a much longer process than setting up the process pictures, adding, you just put it in Photoshop. You say, make a frame out of each layer. Now make a GIF. Like, it's so much easier.
Yeah.
It takes a little bit of forethought, but other than that.
Yeah,
It's way
that's
quicker.
yeah. Just
And like I said, like, yeah, it's nice to see the strokes and stuff like that. So I'm not saying I'm not gonna ever make any more time lapses. But as an artist, I'm trying to make what I would want. Like I used to have folders and folders of like ripped out pages from Wizard magazine of pictures that I liked, or pinups from certain comic book pinups from certain poster books or whatever, and I had like files of reference material that I would just look at and study and try to figure out how they did it. So if I had someone who made a gift or a thing that just went piece by piece, process by process, and told me what to do, like that would have helped me out so much. So this is still helping out anybody who wants to learn. And like I said, at the $10 tier, you also get, I take my Photoshop file, and you can see how I've got it layered, what my opacity is, what effects I'm doing on it, blah, 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 blah. So you're still learning. You can still learn from my shit.
I have another question for you.
Uh,
Follow-up question. Where were you with teaching? With teacher DJacobRyals?
well, there is
Teaching.
also a tier that you can sign up where I'll give you critique. I don't know if I'm. There's a guy I was friends with, and I begged him to teach me how to play guitar. And he said he wouldn't, because the way that he learned how to play guitar was wrong. But I'm like, but you're still playing it. So what the fuck does it matter? He's like, yeah, but like you shouldn't learn the way that I learned. And so that's sort of how I feel with teaching. But
I mean,
I'll give it a try if you pay me enough, and that's on one of the tiers. I mean, I've got a tier that says pay me $1,000 just because you can't pay me if I don't ask for it. So
like if you had a Zoom like this and just had somebody else, and like you're on here like this, and you're having someone like, screen share what they're doing, and you just tell them, like, point them in the direction to dial in what they're doing. I think that could be a cool tier to have on your Patreon. Is there like
it
a
is.
number of, that's something I think I would, if I was
It's one of them.
Oh, okay. Well then,
I just haven't done it yet. I haven't done it yet or fucked with it. So I'm just telling you that I'm a little apprehensive. But if somebody wants to give it a try, you can do a 7-day trial.
So okay, the 7. Okay, yeah. Then, dude, don't be a fucking dummy. No one on here that's listening or watching is a dummy, but like you might be a dummy if you don't do that.
I don't know if that tier is 7-day, but yeah, I've got anyway.
Okay. Cool. Okay. Well then, I think I know where people can find you. Again, possibly with the exception of a dark alley. But so just to go back through, we have Facebook, Patreon, and Instagram, all DJacobRyals.
Yep.
And that's easy. DJacobart. And it'll be in there crystal clear in the show notes. And yeah. And yeah, and if you ever want something, you want art, this guy's made me a lot of art. And I appreciate that. And I thought that I've always had it, and I had it as the logo, but I had someone else make me a logo. But now I'm like, I don't know about the logo. And
I like your new logo.
You do?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I had someone reach out to me and say, I want to make you a logo. I'm like, okay.
It'll look good on a shirt.
All right. Cool. Thanks, man. Yeah, and so, but yeah, I always liked the one that you made, dude. I always thought it was cool as shit. And
that was a crappy one. That was
that was a decade ago at least.
Drew on paper and then colored on my iPad 1 with a rubber, what do they call them? Because now I got an Apple Pencil stylus, a rubber stylus.
Okay. So, what's the difference between a stylus and an Apple Pencil?
An Apple Pencil is actually made for drawing. Like It's way more sensitive and acts like a pencil. It has a fine point. The
Okay.
styluses were just those thick things with rubber nubs.
The rubber ball, like a ball nub, I believe is
No,
a technical term.
it's not even a ball.
No, and
No.
just sort of. Okay, I got
I
it.
would go through a lot of them, but they weren't expensive, so it worked. But
But
yeah,
now I assume an Apple Pencil is a little bit more expensive.
way better. And I've got an iPad Pro, so
Okay, what'd you do with your iPad 1?
I still have it, but it's might as well be a brick at this point because it's
Updates,
yeah, the updates make it unusable, which is
Apple.
capitalism. But
Yeah,
what do you want to do? What are you gonna do?
right, right. What you gonna do? Cool, man. Well, dude, thanks for being on. And yeah, I always enjoy getting to talk with you. And once a year or whatever, whenever, I don't know. I'd like to have you back on more often if you're up for it.
Okay.
More than once a year. Maybe I like doing like 3 months. And then I start bringing the all stars back, and you know, you can be an all star, man. So maybe, yeah, yeah, maybe I'll make an all star list. Um, it's a
Your own
short
co
list, man.
your own
But
your do your own co-host again.
yeah, the co-host, dude, man, I don't know how you did all that shit, man. It blows my mind. I think of it so often when I'm trying to do stuff on this show. And I don't know how you did a lot of that, man. I really don't. I don't, and especially the booking, and like, but I mean, then people started after a while were reaching out to you more, which was a big help. Everyone wanted to
Comedians
be
love a
on.
microphone.
Yeah, right. Oh man. Yeah. So are those still around, or are they just so hidden and gone forever?
So episodes of my old podcast, PCX Radio.
Yep.
I don't know where you could find them. I think I've got some clips still on my own personal YouTube page.
Did you delete everything else?
There, you can't listen to it as a podcast. I've got no.
It's
I,
just
I
gone.
it's not gone forever. I've got my own jumble of archives that's unorganized, like semi-organized, but there's nowhere you can stream it.
Okay. Is that ever something you just at one point when you ended it just for like,
The time it would take to do that is not time I'd want to spend on it. It's that type deal.
yep,
If you really, really want something, maybe I'd be willing to. If someone sent me a hard drive and I put stuff on it, I'd be willing to do it. Maybe. I'm not gonna give away my whole fucking shit so someone else can put it up, but yeah.
right.
But again, I think there's clips of you on my personal thing. I think Phone Fun, where we did the prank phone call.
Frank Funk. Okay.
Yeah, I think there's some clips. There's some YouTube clips from back in the day on my personal YouTube channel.
Okay. All right. But the full episodes they're all off your YouTube channel. Weren't
I
they
think
all
so.
like,
I don't fucking know.
you don't know?
I haven't
Okay.
fucked with this shit since 2015.
Yeah. I guess that's almost a decade, man. So like, fuck it. Uh okay. But your other podcast, you're a co-host on, I didn't link that.
In front of the telly.
In front of the telly. Let me make sure I got that. What do you prefer people to listen to on or watch? Do you watch
Oh,
it or
I can send you a link. It's probably Apple or podcast, wherever you get your podcast, you can get it.
I looks like I got an Apple one here, so that'll work. I will put that in the show notes as well.
Yeah, I record that later tonight. We watch movies and television shows and we give our takes on it. Usually I am super political, so it's gonna be my lefty take on it. Or we
All right.
or we'll talk about social and economic lefty takes on it. My co-host is further left than I am. So and then
Okay.
yeah, it seems like one of our more popular episodes is one where we went over this Bush era reality show called
That's my Bush.
No, it was Ice-T made it. It was a show where a white family and a black family would do white and blackface and go out in public and talk about their experiences. Black is called black white or white black or something like that. It was horrible.
Wow.
It was horrible. And the guy,
Horrible how?
as in like the white family just did not get it. Like they thought it's just very horrible.
Wouldn't fly in 2024?
Absolutely not.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Okay. So if you guys are, but so you got to go and poke fun at it and give your 2 cents each.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So
All
if
right.
you aren't interested in a lefty political take on media, then that's what that's for. In front of the
All
time.
right. Okay. And then I think that's everything. I think I hit you with everything.
I
Cool.
appreciate that because I meant to bring it up and I didn't.
Well, good, man. I know I know you more than some of the people that I have on my show, where the point of it is I don't want to know anything about them until they're on the show,
Mhm.
which isn't always good.
Yeah.
Because I wouldn't have known. I would like, oh, you have a podcast? I probably should know that stuff, but I don't know.
It's fine. I don't.
But I know you have a podcast, so that's what matters. And I know that you have everything else. So, yeah, I'll get you back here in a few months. So that'll put us probably around, April 15th, tax day.
Okay.
Maybe a tax day episode with the tax man, DJacobRyals. Okay, cool.
And we'll see if I'm still putting out stuff and I haven't just gotten I just had the word, I lost it.
Cease and desist.
No, that I haven't gotten I haven't stopped putting out work.
A block.
Yeah.
You got a block on about a block. A
It's
block
okay.
of a block. Okay. But you got it now.
I do feel bad for you. This avatar does not give you a lot to work off.
No, but it's gonna be cool, man, because like I'm curious to see what it's gonna look like on YouTube. Like because it cuts back and forth, whoever's talking kind of gimmick, and I don't know, man, it'll be cool, man. Like you're the first one that's done that. I probably wouldn't let anybody else, but today's DJacobRyals day, and so you got to do that. I'll probably have you back on with that too if you want to do that again. So maybe it'll just be your thing, and maybe that's okay. Cool. There's my 3 half sentences strung in a row and then an abrupt stop. So that's for you, buddy. Cool, man. Well, I hope you have a good rest of your day, and we will stay in touch.
All right, man.
All right. Play it, stay up, as the kids say, right?
No cap.
No cap, bussin'. All right. So no cap bussin', you guys. That's DJacobRyals. Check him out, you guys. Don't be a ding dong. Cool guy, man. First podcast I was ever on was his podcast. So I'd like to find that, but who knows if that'll happen. But thank you everyone for listening on the Rusty Diamond Podcast Network. And that is the show, Man. Boom.
It's Rusty Diamond, motherfucker. It's Rusty Diamond, motherfucker.